conference games. I know they went to #1 Coastal and played them with a touchdown. Talk about you're facing a team that's coming in pretty confident.
Well, Western is actually is even when we look back during that open date, I felt Western was as good a team as the other two that were playing, and that everybody was talking about the two, and I knew Western was probably one of the more difficult ones of the three, just because of the matchups and what they're playing right now. So offensively, a very good plan, a very good system of what they're doing, and defensively they're much better than a year ago. So they're playing well, they're playing with confidence, and they're winning football games going down the stretch, which is a credit to their team, because that's the sign of a real good team, is when you really start winning, coming from behind and winning games. And they won the one that came from behind when they were at home. And then they did not get the one at Coastal Carolina, but they were throwing in the end zone to win the game at Coastal Carolina.
What do you expect out of them system-wise? So what do they do specifically that is either difficult or challenging?
Yeah, it's just what they do is, I would say they are a throwing football team. They spread the field, and they're gonna run the ball in that fashion. But yet some people are deceptive running to throw the ball and vice versa. I would say they're more going to be able to want to throw the football. I think their quarterback is a very headsy guy. They call the whole game from the line of scrimmage, so you'll get a lot of looks back to, get up to the line of scrimmage, look back to the coach. He makes the final decision, call the play, and run with it. So that's the way they run their offense. They'll go sideline to sideline. They'll put 3 receivers over on the boundary, that type of stuff. So it's one of those types of teams that has designed their spread to, the width is as important as anything else to them. Defensively, I wouldn't say they're any different than the years past. It's just they have better personnel doing it. They've got a couple of young corners that can really run. I think their structure inside is a little bit more aggressive than what it's been in the past. And, of course, he's been there a couple of years now, so you're starting to see the plan come together for him where the players know what they're doing.
Brett was a pretty productive player last year when they were moving him back and forth, D-line, linebacker, and now he's even, can you talk about how he's even furthered his game this year?
Brett's been, the past 2 weeks, Brett's been really good just because, he's been productive. I think he had 2 fumbles and an intercept, last week, and a couple tackles for a loss. He's playing a key position for us. His probably role is picked up because the will linebacker for us is a productive position. If you go back over the years, that has to be a guy he's factored in about every play that's run on the field, and he's really, the last 2 weeks has really came a long ways as far as his savviness of the game. I mean, that's probably what he's changed the most. He's starting to understand what he's supposed to do inside, because this is his first time ever playing inside linebacker. Now he's starting to get a feel for it, so he understands how to fit things a lot better and a lot quicker, and thus you start to see a lot more production. But I think the comfort zone is what, and the confidence is what's improved on him playing inside.
How hard of a transition is that playing from like outside or a DN to inside?
Oh, not anybody can come inside. Yeah, that's difficult. You can go inside to outside, but going outside to inside, that's another game. It takes a certain person to play inside, because you got to be able to play downhill. You got to be able to play both directions. You're getting hit from both sides. When you're outside, you're kind of like a DB, a big DB. When you're inside, you're in there almost like you got more D tackle responsibilities than you do, secondary responsibilities. So you got to be headsy, savvy. You got to make decisions quickly. You got to make calls that you don't have to make on the outside. So it takes a whole nother type of person and leader to play inside than it does outside.
How much of what's the